struggling to move your nonprofit forward? You've come to the right place. Welcome to the Nonprofit Architect, where we are giving you the actionable steps you need to launch and grow your nonprofit organization. Now, here's your host, Travis Johnson.
Hey, welcome to the show. I'm here today with Dean Wegner. He is the founder of Authentically American. Dean, how are you doing today?
Travis, I'm doing fantastic and honored to be a guest. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, I love having you. I love meeting people, especially someone like you that's doing something that really matters and you're giving back to the nonprofit world at the same time. Absolutely love it. Give us a little bit of your background, a little bit of your history.
So let me start out, with what's most important to me, and that's given an opportunity. I always love to share about my Christian faith, that being first and foremost to me. I also like to talk about my family and then my service to our country. So it's all about God, family, and country. And since this is primarily a veteran, nonprofit focused community, my military training started at West Point. So was humbled to go ahead and receive admittance, Travis, and that was a small miracle that I got in. Probably the even bigger one that I graduated, and I graduated in 93 and had an opportunity to go to flight school, learn how to fly helicopters, then went to the Army Special Forces Ranger School, served 7 years, got out in 2000, and that foundation for me at West Point continued 7 years has really, shaped me and who I am and really starts to fill into our business now, Authentically American.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that you put it God, family, country in that order. It's not a lot of time that you get people on willing to profess their faith on something that's going to be recorded, published, and broadcast out. So we really commend you on that. We have the same order of things in our lives. Mine is God, family, and service as well. I am obviously a Navy guy, and we've talked quite a bit back and forth. And those of you,
early here, Travis.
Those of you, those of you that are maybe not too familiar with how the military works, we love to hate and hate to love each other. We rib back and forth. Whatever, if you're in a different service, prepare for the jokes and the jabbing, but it's all in good fun. If you are a civilian, have been a civilian your whole life, and you hear this kind of stuff going on, do yourself a favor and just don't jump in the middle of it. Don't take sides, because anyone in the argument will turn and they will all be against you. So please don't do that, just for your own personal safety. But West Point, that had to have been quite the experience.
Well, I'll tell you, Travis, it was not always a lot of fun. It was quite a different experience than your standard state school experience, but I look back with the absolute fondest of memories and just the incredible experiences and lifetime relationships. And for example, there is no, call it Greek system, fraternity, sorority system out there, but I have to tell you, it has got to be the largest, fraternal organization out there. Because after I graduated in 93 and was accepted into the Long Gray Line, this is a group of graduates from the oldest of grads to the newest of grads that we really look out for each other and really have each other's back. And I can't tell you the number of grads that have, looked out for me, and in turn, I've tried to pay it forward and look out for others. And, specifically to Authentically American. We raised some investment capital, and over half of the investors with Authentically American are fellow West Point grads.
That's fantastic. What a great way to utilize that network to help you build your dreams. And that's what we do in the nonprofit world. We utilize our network, we build relationships, make friendships to build that dream and that vision of having that impact that you want to have. I know that Authentically American is by and large an apparel company. And you've done some amazing things with the things that you've created. But what's something that you have that you've created that's just special that you guys have as just your own?
This is not, call it just our own, but we are the ones that really have perfected this and really exploited this as our hero product. And Travis, you mentioned the good Army-Navy rivalry. This was probably a prime opportunity for me to highlight one of our products, our hero product, and also have a little bit of fun with that Army-Navy rivalry. So this will be a good old kindergarten style show and tell. So for those who are just tuning in audio, I am holding up personally one of my favorite shirts. It says, "Go Army." And Travis, I love that you and I can see each other, but what you're missing out on, if you were here side by side and if you felt this shirt, you'd be like, Dean, it's got to be the softest shirt I've ever felt, and that's by design. We want our shirts to be incredibly soft. And here we are in August. And if you were trying to feel the print, you can hardly even feel it, Travis, because we made an intentional choice that instead of that heavy plastisol ink that if you think to most of the t-shirts in your closet, on a hot summer day, it will stick to your chest. After you wash it a few times, it will crack. So our shirts, that print, you can hardly even feel it. So just across the board, they are incredibly soft. And this is the piece, Travis, that we only do in the collegiate space, and we primarily do only across all t-shirts. And this is our new sweat activated print innovation. So when you sweat, when you work out, this hidden message appears. So at West Point, it's all about Go Army. You can say it, Travis.
Oh,
Go
no, I
Army.
definitely can't say it. I definitely can't say it.
Go Army, beat Navy. And I just sprayed the shirt simulating your workout. And what magically appears is that beat Navy message. And then on the back, there's our vintage U.S. flag logo. And I sprayed again, and beat Navy comes even bigger. And I love to highlight this product, Travis, because we are so intentional about being American made. Our contract manufacturing network is across 12 U.S. states, and we specifically produce this shirt in Texas. But I love it because people will say to me, Dean, no offense, but I don't care where it's made. The shirt is just so incredibly soft. I can't even feel the print. And then, wow, this technology, I've never seen anything before. But then, Travis, here's what happens. They will then look at the tag and see that it's American made. And to give you some historical context, when I graduated from West Point in 93, over 50% of the apparel in the U.S. was made in the U.S. And today, Travis, it's less than 3%. I mean, that is all that's made here. So people look at it and say, shoot, there's nothing in my closet American made. And then they go to our website and they learn the story and the ethos behind our brand, and that we're a brand that celebrates the American worker. We're a brand that celebrates patriotism. And we're also a brand that very intentionally honors our American heroes because we donate 10% of our profits to veteran and first responder charities. And that is a way for us now, when they learn the story after leading with amazing product, that we can be one of their favorite brands.
I tell you what, I love the pitch and I love the story. It burns me a little bit to see the Go Army, Beat Navy shirt, but I know that you have a Go Navy, Beat Army shirt, and that's got to burn all your friends at West Point.
Well, Travis, I was hoping we wouldn't go there because that is a little bit of a sensitive subject, but we don't discriminate, and we have a representation for all the services. So there's a Go Navy version, and just like you, I can't say the rest of it. There is an Air Force version, but our fellow brethren at Citadel and VMI, and we're starting to add more schools that have a significant ROTC presence. So, we have across the board this amazing technology, and not just the sweat activated shirt, but a whole lot of polos and hoodies and jackets that start to encompass all the schools that we work with.
What's amazing to me, other than the fact that you really wanted to make sure that you were American made and authentically American, is that you are a giving organization. What are some of the different veteran nonprofits? I'm going to get these words right here in a second. Veteran nonprofits and first responder related nonprofits that you guys have chosen to partner with so far.
Well, let me do this first, Travis. I'll give another visual. So we just had our 4-year birthday last month. So we are in that toddler phase, and I'm exhausted, absolutely exhausted. And here's why. 4 years ago, this was our business plan. I mean, it was a blank sheet of paper, and we didn't exist. So the whole strategy, the supply chain, we're going to be producing products, our branding, our marketing, our packaging, everything across the board did not exist. So that's one reason why, Travis, I'm exhausted. But I'll tell you, in the midst of being exhausted, I'm even more energized, because when you start with a blank sheet of paper, you can be so intentional about who you are and what you stand for and your values and your vision and your mission. And that ties into your question, because we wanted to be an organization. We wanted to be a brand that was known for giving back. And we very intentionally donate 10% of our profits to veteran and first responder charities. And that's a way for us, Travis, to honor our American heroes. And right now, there are 2 specific charities that we partner with that donation. One is the Folded Flag Foundation, and just an amazing organization that honors Gold Star families and helps provide education. The other one I know that you're familiar with is Reboot Recovery, a faith-based PTSD program that not only serves our veterans, but first responders. And I know we were talking earlier about ratings and veteran charities that are doing great things. I mean, these are 2 that I did my due diligence. and do an absolutely amazing, phenomenal job with making sure that every dollar that gets invested, goes right to the cause.
Oh, that's fantastic. I definitely have a little bit of experience with Reboot Combat Recovery. I went through with a friend of mine and sat through the program here in Oklahoma City, and then was honored to be able to become an instructor for the next round, and met a lot of amazing folks, heard some amazing stories, and just to be part of their recovery is just something that means a lot to me.
Yeah. And what's phenomenal, you're there in Oklahoma doing that, and they are literally now a global organization, because they has, chapters, organizations around the world that are doing what you did, and, putting together a program and a curriculum for those veterans that are really struggling with PTSD, that don't have an answer, that really can enroll in this program and find a way out.
Oh, absolutely. There's for some reason a stigma about PTS or PTSD and the trauma that we face. It's not necessarily combat related. When we look at veterans and first responders, it can happen in all sorts of different instances. You might go overseas one time as a military member and do one deployment and see something traumatic. And then we've got at home, we've got EMTs, paramedics, fire, and law enforcement that might see something every single day of the week. Their deployments are nonstop every day. And we kind of forget as a nation what kind of toll that takes on the people that provide our blanket of freedom that we enjoy each and every day.
Travis, I'll give you one example, because we often talk about our veterans and first responders, and where PTSD is most prevalent. But, for those who aren't familiar with Nashville and Music City, first and foremost, it's just an amazing city. But, we had a bombing last December, and my creative director lived one block from where that bomb detonated, and she was fortunately okay. I mean, one block closer, and it would have been, we were searching for a new creative director, and it would have been a tragic story. But I mean, for months after that, any loud noise, any things along those lines, I mean, it was traumatic for her. I mean, it was a really trying experience. So it's a much, much broader impact than people realize.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm in Oklahoma City, and we had the Alfred P. Murrah building in 95. And I'm not sure the math on that, whatever year anniversary that is, 26 years. And then we just did an event with Tunnels to Towers. A friend of mine, JC Carbonell, went up and played 100 rounds of golf, or 100 holes of golf in a day, walked 33 miles and played 5.5 rounds of golf in order to raise money to Tunnels to Towers. And it's the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. These things happen. These things are real. It causes real lasting effects. And it's nice to see organizations and our business partners like yourself actually take an active interest into helping create something, a little bit of safety net, a little bit of recovery, and hope for the future. A good friend of mine, Carla Nelson, says that businesses need to operate more like nonprofits, and nonprofits need to operate more like businesses. And I want to give you a little bit of kudos for being a business that's nonprofit minded.
I've never heard it said that way, Travis, but I absolutely agree. I think if we both, meld those philosophies together, we'd be much better served.
Absolutely. Yep. Businesses will have more of a philanthropic arm and being able to help the people in their community, and nonprofits will actually be able to generate some revenue and actually have the impact that they were designed to make in the first place. I absolutely love that. Now, you have another program that you use to partner with nonprofits to give them a real benefit of Authentically American apparel. What is that program?
We do, Travis. And I guess to give context, big picture. So there are 3 segments of our business. So one is our collegiate, and that's like West Point, like Naval Academy, like Alabama. We just added Auburn. So all these colleges, schools, now you can choose an American-made option. We also have our own consumer brand. So like I'm wearing a dress shirt or a polo or a hoodie with our vintage U.S. flag, our Authentically American branding. But then where we started, Travis, was on the client side. So think of any business, any organization, any charity. They all buy T-shirts. They all buy polos. They all buy ball caps with their organization, their charity's logo. And that is where we started, and what we made the intentional choice when we partner with a charity or nonprofit. We provide our goods and services at cost. And that's a way for you, if you're a founder, if you're an executive director for a charity, this is a way to build your brand and also to raise funds in the process. So for example, this sweat activated shirt, we sell for $32 on our website every day, and we sell thousands of them. People absolutely love it. And what we do, Travis, when we partner with a charity, you can come up with your own custom design. So instead of this Go Army logo, you can have your charity's organization. And then you have this, motivational message. If you have this mantra, you can have that appear when it's sweat activated. And our charity partners sell that for $25, and they make $10 in every shirt they sell. And our charity partners love it because they get this amazing shirt that people love. And then they're building brand. And then every one that they sell through our website, through our platform that we built for them, they're making $10. So we've donated tens and tens of thousands of dollars, to our veteran charity partners and even broader, more charities.
Oh, that's fantastic. If you're a nonprofit right now and you're listening to this and you don't already have your own apparel, you have to hook up with Dean Wegner at Authentically American and see the best way to partner and get your design, whether it's a high quality polo or to get your sweat activated shirt. And especially if you're in the South, just walking around, you're going to activate that bad boy. And other than, maybe looking not the freshest, right? You're going to have a hidden message in there to really make an impact. Because how often do you see something like that walking down the street? You honestly just don't. And to have something that's attention getting, that's the softest material made that won't stick to you and is American made, that's a hard combination to find. But we've got it right here with Dean and Authentically American.
And Travis, I should highlight one other thing related to this, because this was not part of the vision when we started 4 years ago, but understanding who your customer is and being able to adapt to their needs. So in addition to amazing American-made product, we offer full end-to-end service. So we have a graphic design team. We build online stores, we deal fulfillment. So if somebody's tuning in and saying, well, that's a great idea, but I'm not that creative, I don't know how to design and create it, we can help you with that, the graphic design. And if you're like, well, I don't have an online store, I don't have the e-commerce platform, we can help you with that because we build online stores for our charity clients. And then if you're saying, well, I don't want to be shipping this stuff out of my garage, we take care of that as well. So that full end-to-end service. So you as a charity can focus on your core mission and we'll help take care of the rest.
Oh, I love that. There was nothing that was more annoying when I was full into the nonprofit world. Like, oh yeah, we'd love to help you with your t-shirts and your fulfillment. Yeah, go ahead and buy 3,000 of these, store them in your garage for 10 years. And then every time someone buys one that's not local, you've got to take a day, get it packaged, take it to the post office or set up with UPS to get it shipped out. Like it wasn't convenient for so many years. And when it was convenient, you were getting these stiff, like Hanes heavy t-shirts that are not breathable or they just don't look good. They don't turn out good. So it's nice to see that someone is doing more than just providing a shirt. You're providing value and making it easier for your business partners and especially for your nonprofits to get these things done and delivered. You've got a limited budget, you've got limited time, you've got limited people, and to take that off of their plate to allow them to focus on actually making the impact they want to make. That's a fantastic service.
And Travis, you said one of the adjectives that we love. Do you remember that old Staples commercial with the easy button?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we want. Somebody that's in a charity to say, man, I love their product. The product is amazing. The values align so well with who we are and our values. But then, by golly, Dean's team just made it so easy. It was like that old easy button. I mean, it was amazing how easy it was to execute.
It's so wonderful. I've got a few other partners that allow me to do the same type of thing, and they're building right now. But to see someone that has the full suite end-to-end service, the website integration, just making it easy from start to finish. I love that.
Awesome.
So, Dean, where do you see Authentically American growing over the next few years?
Well, I will tell you, growth is the number one word, Travis, but to put it in perspective, last year, 2020, the year of the global pandemic and COVID, I wasn't sure if we're going to survive. When it hit that we're going to be locking down and there were threats of locking down across the country, we have some investors behind us, Travis, but for the most part, we're a bootstrap startup. And if we don't have amazing shirts like this, if we don't have amazing product, we don't have a business. And last year reinforced my view and my belief in the American worker, because every one of our 12 manufacturing facilities was operating at some reduced capacity. So some it was 10, some it was all the way up to 50%. But in the midst of those challenges, Travis's, all of our American manufacturing facilities, they stepped up in a big, big way and continued to produce amazing American-made products. So we didn't grow as nearly as fast as we wanted last year, but we still grew nearly 50%. And the silver lining with a global pandemic, now more than ever, Americans are actively seeking American-made product. And our business will double this year. And I believe that's going to continue for the next 5 years and then some, because when people experience firsthand, the amazing product that we deliver, they find out the story and the ethos behind our brand. I mean, they come back and they order. And if they ordered initially their new favorite, Go Army shirt, and they own a business, now they want to go ahead and add, the client side. Or if they're working with a charity and they bought, one of our polos, they're like, well, my favorite charity partner needs to have it. So that is the biggest challenge and opportunity, Travis, why I was so thankful with the audience you've built, that we have an opportunity to share the story and how we can help so many of your listeners, so many of your audience, help build their charity and their nonprofit.
It's wonderful. I love that you said growing by 50% is a down year. Imagine if we could have that kind of mindset, that kind of motivation applied to every nonprofit in the U.S. We've got like 2.5 million nonprofits, 53,000 of which are veteran-related organizations. Can you imagine if that mindset filtered down into every single organization, what kind of a country we could build?
No doubt about it, Travis. And that's one of my favorite mantras is go big or go home. And other than home with my family, I'm not interested in going home when it comes to business ideas. So we always say, what is that big, audacious goal that we can dream about? And for us, Authentically American, we're still relatively small, but, after the military, I spent time at Mars, spent time at Procter & Gamble, working on brands like M&M's, Crest, and Tide. And those are all billion-dollar brands. And that's ultimately where we want to go. That the same iconic nature that you think of with Polo, that you think of with Nike, as you think of Under Armour, that's the ultimate iconic status we want to have, Travis. And just think, if we've got $1 billion of revenue, think how far that 10% of our profits is going to go. It's going to go a long, long way and serve a long, long list of veteran charities.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not just building a business or building a nonprofit. It's the impact that you're delivering to your community, to your state, to your country. And that's what we love about you. And that's why we had you on the show today.
All right.
Before we wrap things up here, Dean, I want to ask you, what parting advice would you have to people that are in the nonprofit world, considering nonprofit work, or that have a business that they want to create something to partner with nonprofits? What would you tell them?
I would say, Travis, the number one advice I would give is don't go alone. I think whether you're Army, Navy, Air Force, one of the things about the military is they train you to have an incredible work ethic and drive, a perseverance and commitment. And so often it's like, well, if I ask for help, that's a sign of weakness. And I will tell you, I view it the exact opposite. I think there's great strength in saying, I need help. And here's where I need help. And the other thing that often is a barrier, well, Travis is so busy. He's got so much going on. He's not going to really have time to help me. And Travis, the number of people I reached out asking for help, asking for support, and not only were they willing to help, they were honored. They were flattered that I would ask them for their advice. So I think that's the number one piece is if you're starting something that you believe in and you're passionate about, and it's going to take a lot of work, don't do it alone. Ask friends, ask your family, ask your supporters to get behind you, even if it's something simple like, praying, which nothing could be more important than praying for something you're going to be going forward with.
Oh, absolutely. And that's fantastic advice. I know that I have a long list of strengths, but there's a lot of areas that I'm just no good at. I do not do my back end production for this podcast because I don't have that particular skill. And instead of developing within myself, which I most certainly could if I wanted to, I don't have the time to deal with all that back end stuff. So if you're out there and you're looking to start a podcast or get into this stuff, we offer these services for you to get on, record the episodes and get on with your day. And podcasting has a major impact. It's replacing radio. It's a medium everyone can get behind. But Dean, thank you so much for being my guest today. More than overjoyed to have you on the Nonprofit Architect podcast.
Well, Travis, it was an honor to be a guest, and we'll part with one last go, Army. Beat Navy for you.
I figured you'd do that. Thanks.
You've been listening to The Nonprofit Architect. To listen to all our past shows, visit nonprofitarchitect.org. And be sure to subscribe, rate, and review our show. Thank you.